Hello, friends. Welcome back to Love My Crafts. I'm Mary, and this is my channel where I share my love of all things crafty and sewing with you. If you're new here, welcome, and thanks for stopping by. Please feel free to subscribe if you haven't already. That way you know when the next dice video is coming out. So today's video is one of the sewing project dice games. I think this is the fourth one, and we did bag number 6. And it was cup cozies, which I can't believe I had a sample cup somewhere. I did bring up samples. Hold, please. This game was inspired by Carole and her Fabric Wheel of Fate, which now has a new twist. So if you haven't seen those, she has a playlist and you need to go watch it. And I will link it below. So I'm always thinking of things I want to make. And then I squirrel, find another project to make and I forget. So what I did is I started piling them into project bags, and then I put numbers on them, and now I roll my Dollar Tree dice and pick one, and I make what's in it. So this time it was cup cozies, and I had a lot of fabric in there. Plus I had some felt that I had gotten from a thrift store, and I made a couple. I might film making a couple more because I like to make them. The first two I made were different, but I usually like to make them the same, cut out a bunch and just make them in a row. So I might do a little bit of that and film a little bit of that before we roll the dice again. So the first one I'm going to show you is, this is actually crocheted. There's a yarn called, I think it was called Bernat Maker. And it's almost like t-shirt yarn. You know how there are videos to show you how to make yarn out of t-shirt. And this one has a bottom. So it doesn't leave a ring. This is a Starbucks cup because that's what was in my kitchen when I needed a template. So those are nice. I make a lot of crochet ones, and I do actually have a pattern on Etsy for one of my crochet cup cozies. And I will try to remember to link that below. But I believe that's in somewhere in my links already. I don't have too much on my Etsy store, but a nice crochet iced coffee. Let's try that again. A crochet iced coffee cozy is one of them. So this is the one I made just this past holiday season. And I just did, I'm telling you, there is cat hair everywhere. I just did quilt as you go at an angle. So for this one, I had to use the strips, some felt, and then I lined the inside with some plaid Christmas fabric. And you can see your raw edges show, but you're just sticking a cup of coffee in there. You can also top stitch them down if you want. I don't have one of those here. I do have one at work that I use all the time. It has campers on it. So I made it when I went camping last year. And then this one is with bees. And they all come out, they never come out exactly the same, even though I use a template. And the way I made the template was I watched the video with Jess from Okla Roots. And she has a template, and she showed you how to customize, measure to get the right fit for your cup. So this is bumblebees, of course. How about if I show you? And I lined this one with the soft, cheap, it's dirty, sorry, felt that you can get at Walmart. Comes in like a big package. Or I had gotten the larger pile of it. They're bigger shapes from Joann, so that you can actually cut it out in one swoop. And this one I had bought, I believe, or someone had given me a fleece blanket, and I used that with some tie-dye fabric. So how would I rate these for absorbency? The best one, top, is felt, because it keeps the cup dry and it keeps your hand dry. It doesn't soak all the way through. The next best one is flannel, because flannel, of course, is absorbent. And the blanket was up. I didn't really like it. And then, I swear to gosh, Look at this. This is, she drops these all over the place. This is just her fur. And I brush her daily. You know I'm talking about you. I heard you. This one I made when I first learned. There's a different tutorial on Jess's channel for a little, these go on those hot Starbucks cups or on any of those, you know, the tall, skinny cups. And on the inside, I put some, it's not flannel, but it's a little bit more absorbent than the cotton. Great for hot cups. And then this is what I made over the past couple of weeks. These are fabrics I got in the bundle that I won. Plus I had, don't look at my crooked stitching. Plus I had some strawberry, and you can see one's going one way, one's going the other. Because this was just a crazy quilted one. And this is that really thick felt. So now that I got at the thrift store. So now you have, with this one, it's a little bit thicker because you have to put something when you're, I put fusible fleece, I believe, when you're quilting as you go. So it's a little bit thicker and it's a little bit tougher to measure and it fits kind of snug. And it's really meant to, so you're not always picking up a cold, wet cup. And it keeps it cold too. So that was that one. And then this one, I almost absolutely love it. So this, shut myself up. I put that right in front of my face. So see, now look at that. When you're getting it together, it depends on how well it was cut out, on how the shape for some reason, because you top stitch, and I had, when I, you know, you turn it and you try to get your seam down like that, I realized I had sewn the inside crooked, so I had to redo that a couple times. But in the end, it doesn't matter because as long as it's the shape and it fits. You know, you see it's a little bit looser because it's not as thick. So the thicker you are, the tighter it will fit. And you notice this is a different size because that's what those two pieces were in the last video. One is the hard plastic template. That's this size. And with the felt, you can just do them both the same size. It doesn't really matter. But the second piece was for the batting to get the shape without being too bulky on the edges. And somehow I made that work in one of the ones I made, but I like this size better. Almost full coverage. And you can make them. If you're really talented, you can cut something out this shape and you can do, stitch it to the bottom. This, that's not me. So I had others I wanted to make. I will show you. Let me turn this back. Ah, I got it all ready. And of course it's pinned everything together. Not the pin, I have a boo-boo. Took some jeans and I cut out a heart shape and I want to make it like a peekaboo. So say I had this kind of fabric and but I have to make it, obviously it's too big, it's like a folder. This is just a test heart so that it will be part of the cozy, but another fabric will be peeking through. I don't think I'm going to get to that today though. Might be a nice patch to put on, excuse me, one of my quilted bags. I do need another one of those. And I do cut up ahead of time the felt. A ton of this felt. I cannot believe it's $3 at Savers, my local thrift store. So I do plan on making a lot more because I have all kinds of fabric. I have, and I could even do So Fruity. Wait, is June over yet? There's fruit on this one. There's berries too. These are blueberries. So I could enter this into So Fruity, and I did take a picture of it. So I have all kinds of fat quarters that I need to use. And these would make nice little gifts, even to send in the mail, because they're not that heavy. Well, these ones could probably fit in a next size up from a greeting card envelope, maybe. So that's that. Now, what you all came here for is me to roll the dice. So I'm not done with this one, and I won't start the next one until I make a couple more of these. And I'll include those in my next dice thing. So I'm going to turn the camera around and we're going to roll the dice. Okay, I'm sorry, you're still a little wobbly. It's time to roll. Ready? Are you kidding me? Look at this. We don't need 6. Oh, sorry for the close-up of my hand. We got 8. I don't know if I've done that yet. Let me check. Number 8. I've been dreading this one. Oh, no, I haven't. There's 2 bags. They each have something white in them. One of them's impossible blood, but that's not what this is. This is some white cotton jersey, the Ellie and Mac. Can't get the sticker off. Telling me what I need to do. I think I've already cut it out. Ellie and Mac, something curved hem pocket tank pattern. I'm probably just gonna make it a regular tank because I need a white tank top. That's easy, so I will have time to make some more cup cozies. Okay, this time I remembered to turn off the air conditioner. So the angle's not the greatest, but I have a few layers of different types of fabrics folded in half. So I'm going to cut around the template. Now, technically, you would try to make this even with the green, but it's for a cup cozy, so I'm just going to wing it. When it comes to cutting out patterns, I'm terrible with scissors. So these are, I guess I should explain this mess. This cutting mat is on top of a piece of white, not white, it's got white duct tape on it, sheet metal. And these are really strong magnets. So they're going to hold this pattern in place while I attempt to cut around it through 6 layers of fabric. I recently changed my blade. Let's hope it works. So you want to make sure you're holding it down even though you got magnets. See if I went all the way through. Yes. Try not to cut your plastic. And this plastic is the cutting mats. They sell in a package of 2, I believe. There used to be more at the Dollar Tree. So it's in a kitchen section of probably any type of dollar store. And let me just get this little bit and that little bit. Okay. Yeah, 2 of them I know will go with my red felt. And I looked at the other felt I had and it's not going to work. Then they all stick together. This was my attempt to cover them with fabric. It didn't work out well. So here we have all of our pieces. I'm going to press these first. But what you would do is line them up right sides together the best way you can. Try to, if you have marker on one, make that the wrong side. And then because it's a curve, what I do is I'll take my handy dandy gauge, either one of these. This is a Nancy Zeman knockoff. I got it on Temu. Or, I saw it when I was looking for something. One of these guys. And you go around 1/4 of an inch, and then you get a bunch ready, and then you can do them by chain piecing. Sew all the tops, woo, sew all the bottoms, but then you would turn them all, press them all, and then top stitch the top and the bottom, all the tops and all the bottoms, and then you put them all together. Sounds easy, but I always mess it up somehow and have some wonky shapes, but I'm the only one looking at it. Oh, definitely have to press this guy. So I'm gonna get everything nice and neat and ready to sew, and then I will try to get the camera over there to show sewing. Otherwise, I'll come back when it's all stitched up. Okay, I didn't sew them all. I had to hem a shirt. I had to hem a shirt because my double needle was in and I didn't feel like taking it out. So I just stitched up 2, and I'll use Mickey and Minnie as an example. So you don't really have to cut anything, but depending on how much I have, I will cut the corners just because, and the threads. Or handy dandy picking shears, especially because this has extra felt. And it's a little difficult because it's curved. You just pink the edges. I'm very bad at cutting in a straight line. Close enough. And then that's the other thing. If you have a directional fabric, which I do not, make sure that that's why I have my template labeled top and bottom. So when I'm putting it down on the fabric, I can see if it's in the right order. direction. Then you're just going to basically roll your seams out, or you could use a turner to make sure they're nice and flat. And then press them, give them a good press. Okay, this is because I'm trying to do it on a camera. So let's say I've pressed it and top stitched it, let's pretend. Then you're going to put it with the outer sides together. It's hard to pretend this is neat because it's not right now. And you want to even up the outer sides, basically. The inside, it's fine. But you'll have everything neatly pressed and top stitched and possibly quilted. You can even quilt this to the felt if you wanted to. Once everything's all nice and neat, you're going to put right sides together. And then you could zigzag it. But I just stitch 1/4 of an inch. Or you could hold it and then size your cup and see. It's all about what size your cup is. So you could hold it and kind of mark it with a pen where you think you should stitch. And that's all. The rest of it is basically trial and error with your cup and fitting. And obviously if it's just for you, you use whatever cup you use around the house. But if it's for giving as gifts, use standard cups. I think these are actually the same size as the Dunkin' Donuts medium. And you put these right sides together, like I said, stitch it. And when you turn it around, you should have something like this. And now, as you can see, there was some wonkiness here, but it's all part of the design, right? Design feature. Up here did okay, but things move and shift when you're sewing, and it might have been a little bit longer on this edge. Or, you know. And then when you do that, so what I did is I put some, I think I put some fray check on here. Because you're not going to care. Once you've washed it and everything too, it gets nice and shaped to the cup, and you keep them in your purse. I have some in my drawer at work. I have some in my kitchen for when I come home with coffee. I have given them as gifts. Not everybody uses them. Depends on where you're sitting when you're drinking your coffee. If it's too hot for your hands or too cold, I just like it. Plus, it's a reason for me to sew something. So that is bag number 6 finished. Well, that does it for our game today. Please join me next time. In a couple of weeks, I should have my tank done. Maybe I do have some other jersey. Maybe I'll make a couple of tank tops for sleeping in or wearing under a cardigan. Depending on how easy it goes. Because it has, you have to do the armbands. That'll be fun. And I will make some more cup cozies and share those with you. And I'll try to remind me, some hashtags on Instagram with the pictures of the fruity ones. Because I was actually going to make some fruity cup cozies some more. I have lots of fruity fabric. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. And if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and come back next time, or drop in and see me on Friday Sews, which I'm very late for, so that should be coming out within a couple of days of this. Thanks. I'll see you soon. Bye for now. There will be links in the description below. I forgot. But this tank top reminds me of why I didn't pursue garment sewing too much. First of all, when I was in home ec class, I learned how to sew. I was skinny enough that I could buy my clothes anywhere. Plus, I was wearing big baggy sweatshirts. It was the 90s. Second of all, one of the things I made was a tank top for my boyfriend at the time, who turned out to be my now ex-husband. Anyway, and I think I was using a jersey, but I was following the instructions. I thought I had a pattern, and somehow it came out the way you'd think it come out if you sewed jersey with a regular needle with a regular straight stitch. And it was curly and bumpy, and I don't know. I did it in class. You think the teacher would have helped me. So, white tank top, take two.